before we go higher. I know there are a lot of people, 10,000 by the end of the year.
Yeah, no,
that's aggressive.
I'm of a similar camp. I do think it goes a bit higher to the 2,300 level, 2,200 level, and then I expect a pullback. Whether that's pre-merge, post-merge, I don't know. I don't really care, to be honest. It's kind of like, what are we setting up here? We're setting up something very interesting, which is a yielding asset that can be the benchmark rate for all of Web3. So I kind of think over time it's going to bring in a lot of institutional interest.
Conviction, courage, and cash. Okay, you need all three. In June, you could have bought Bitcoin at you couldn't have bought at 17.5. That was a wick for like 4 seconds. But you could have bought, under 20 plentifully, and you could have bought Ethereum under 1,000 plentifully. But you needed all three. Some people had conviction, most didn't. Most people lacked courage, but some had it. But most people just were out of cash, right? They had.
That was the hardest thing.
I mean, I have a good buddy who. I shouldn't say good buddy. I have a friend, a colleague. I'm prone to hyperbole, so everybody's my good friend. Although I'm gonna stop hanging out with y'all because you're looking so good, so tan, and I am just I was feeling pretty good until I got on with you guys. I need new lighting or something. And everybody's like, what the hell, dude? What do you do now? And, clearly they have troughed. And, again, Bitcoin, Ethereum, those are child's play compared to Mara or some of those things. I mean, they're threefold, maybe even coming up on fourfold off the bottom. Again, if you had the courage, which most people didn't because it was going straight down 90+%. But people didn't have the cash. So it's a really interesting time. And, what we need, right, is what we've always needed. New entrants, more adoption. Raoul sends out the chart all the time. I saw another update from someone else, of the internet S-curve and where we are. And it's 1998, 1999, somewhere in there.
Go ahead, Raoul.
I think, forget this narrative of true believers versus investors. The big breakthrough of what crypto does is the incentive-based program of you can participate in the network and make money and still believe in it, right? So it doesn't matter. You don't have to be that Bitcoin libertarian who wants to fight for total privacy and total freedom. It's not fucking relevant. It is to them, and that's their fight. And that's fine, right? Everybody has a different reason. But what I'm seeing is massive corporate adoption. I don't think anybody realizes Ticketmaster have distributed 10 million NFTs. Right? All of tickets are going on to Web3. Everything. So if we want to talk about how to get to the next 100 million, it'll happen at paces we don't yet understand. There are many of these Web3 projects of corporates that we don't even know about that have put millions of people into this economy. And once you're in, you got the wallet. Once you're in, you start thinking, okay, what else is this? What can I do? And it comes. You see, money and making money is not a use case for everybody. It's a use case for people who want to invest and want to make money out of it.
Then this made ubiquity, right? It made us always connected. And what's funny is when this got released in 2007, Apple stock went down 40% in 2 weeks. Because people were like, people will never pay $500 for a cell phone. Yeah, they'll pay $1,500 for a supercomputer that you hold in your hand. But now it's the wallet. And I don't know which one. So I'm investing in as many as I can. And I don't really want to carry another device. Like I love Ledger. They have 15% of all crypto on their devices. But I don't want to carry a Nano S or whatever with me. I want here. But iOS has risked it. I've just learned this the other day. There's this thing called an enclave that iOS could open up and you could actually make it secure so you could hold digital assets without risk of crossing the air gap or something. Again, technology that I don't really understand, but iOS doesn't want to do it. Samsung has. That's why you still have wallets there.
You talk about the tribalism, which I think always has existed here, but I've noticed, of course, it's always in the depths of the bear market. But now, even within the tribes, there's sort of this separation and anger. Certainly with Bitcoin maximalism, I think we've all been attacked by Bitcoin maximalists at some point. It's kind of our shared thing here. Now there's like the maxis versus the more toxic maxis, and you're not maxi enough, and you're not. And I see these guys arguing.
Other parts of Web3 could overtake Bitcoin, and then you start fighting it, saying you can't do that. You will only contributing.
Of course. And what I find so interesting, we could have a world where Bitcoin becomes the global reserve currency, sure, but that doesn't mean that I need to try to live in it now. Right, and that's the problem. They're acting like it's already happened. They act like it's already happened, and we should all have adapted. And that everyone on the planet should be self-custodying because the dollar's dead. It's just not.
It's not, and also, money is not the only thing that Web3 solves here. There's a gazillion things of which the Bitcoin blockchain in its current state does not solve, and that's okay. These are different things. Storing on my Twitter feed in my bookmarks all of these traditional media, it's a scam, it's a Ponzi, all of that stuff, because it's just fascinating to see those kind of articles coming out, the kind of told you so at the lows, and then obviously that's the signal. But it still staggers me how much pushback there is from traditionalists. It's like,
presumably
it's really hard,
Go ahead, Raoul.
particularly the institutional style clients and the RAAs and the people you deal with and I deal with on the asset management side, is they're always looking over their shoulder because somebody's always saying you're being an idiot. Because financial markets are all a history of all of us being an idiot and making wrong decisions, and they are scared of it. They're really scared of it. It's very hard to get them to have enough conviction, but when they do, they stick around. But you can see it. They get very wavery. But I explain to people all the time, is like, we've already said it's a 100 vol asset class. It will have 75% drawdowns, and those are opportunities. Every time it does, it's a life-changing risk reward. So even if now, I think we all think the low is in, but let's assume it's not. Let's say there's another 50% downside from here. Well, the upside, when you get to these kind of levels after the sell-off, is about 10 to 20x. So 50 basis points downside, 10 to 20x upside is like, Mooch, we've been in the business for a long time. You'd never get these opportunities in your lifetime. You might get one if you were lucky in some VC deal, but in an entire market that goes up 20x.